Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross. It's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday. Be there!
What up, everybody? Welcome to Fishy Hour. Let's go. What's up, Brian? How you doing back there?
Yo, good.
So,
How are you?
first order of business. I'm just wearing this hat from one of my favorite anglers out there.
Am I looking in a mirror?
Mr. Brian likes to fish. You're my hero, Brian. You're awesome. I'm happy to know you. I'm happy to have you on the show, and I just want to let you know that right off the bat, so that you know that I care. All right.
Right back to you, buddy.
Awesome. So, guys, this trip was amazing. It was more than I was expecting, for sure, in a good way. And so we're going to talk about the Rancho Leonero trip today, along with a bunch of other great things. And
so you can still talk good about me after, being in the same room with me.
exactly, right? No, it's good, right?
6 days?
That's actually pretty rare, dude, right?
Yeah.
We could survive.
6 days.
That's the guy I saw before I went to bed, and I woke up with that dude the next day, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's good. That's actually a good point. So we traveled.
I never took my hat off once.
Which I know. I still don't know what his hair looks like. I still don't even know if he has hair. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks again, Brian, for helping out with the bulk of the work for this episode, especially. I know it was a task to get all the photos lined up and do a great presentation. But first order of business, as always, shout out to the first comment of the day and reclaiming his title, Mr. Peter 86. Let's go. Very nice. And then we're going to give the first like of the evening to Mr. Oscar 636. That's Oscar. That's our Oscar here in San Diego. Welcome, Oscar. Captain Dan in the house. Captain Dan's over there watching from his hotel in LA. He's getting ready to do the race this weekend. So,
with a bunch of luck, I might go up there and see Captain Dan on Saturday, hopefully.
Awesome. Very nice. Dan, Brian noticed that our audio level overall was a little bit low. So any feedback would be great from you if you think it's because I tweaked it. I bumped it up a little bit. So hopefully it's not too loud. Cool. Shout out to Mr. Michael Taylor. What up, dude? Welcome to the show. Benji, what up? Benji, it's been a while. What's the temperature? What's the temperature in Bullhead, Arizona today, Benji? You forgot to add that to your comment. Usually
I'm gonna say 101.
101. Okay. So that's a little bit of a relief. What up, Jared? Welcome, Jared. Welcome, Todd. TB Metal Art. TB Art in the house. ToddBurtonArt.com. Shout out to Mr. Spinning Rod Rebel Marvin. Marvin came out. I forget what day of the week it was, but he came out and met us at the park. My kids were selling chocolates for a fundraiser at school. Nice. Dude, we're winning. Really?
Put me down for some of those. Dark chocolate, please.
Okay, I'll separate some dark chocolates for you too. We sold I think four boxes so far.
Wow.
And we've been just kind of like taking the time off and going to the playground where we go. We set up a little table. It's awesome. Anyway, long story for a different day. But if you guys want to buy chocolates,
yes,
let me know.
Bring mine to the pickle run.
Oh, nice. For 20. Nice. And let's do some more shout outs real quick. More shout outs. It's shout out to Manny Fish, Roy down in SD. What up, Roy? Man, I hit a milestone today in jiu-jitsu, Ray. We'll talk about it soon. Salty Dangler in the house. Mr. Eric Klein. What up, Cobra? Cobra's here. What up, Cobra? One cool tuna. Yeah, one cool tuna. What's up, Jeff? I heard you had a nice outing as well. So, yeah, very nice.
I think Jeff went to Cedros, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, we need to talk about that.
That's so cool. Spotty at best. What up, dude? Welcome, Alex in the house. Saltwater Slayers here.
What's up, champ?
Leonard, let's go. Colton C. What up, Colton? And Mel315. What up, dude? Welcome back. The Judge is here too. What up, Judge? All right. With that said, shout outs are completed. If I didn't shout you out, it's because you didn't say hi in the chat. Say hi. Smack that like. Let's go. And then second order of business, it is Fishy Hour after all. The name comes from happy hour. So grab yourself a drink, chillax, and it's going to be a fun time talking about fishing. So the way you get things started is on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life. 1 being the worst. Rate this pop top.
Heck yeah. Polar seltzer water for me. Always some kind of seltzer. Are you ready? Here we go.
The long pour. Let's go.
Hey, baby.
What's up, John?
CCA cup out.
A solid 10. John, it's been a while since we've seen you, dude. I'm glad you're in here. Remember John?
Yes, of course. I just talked to John this weekend. I saw John. Random story. When I wake up, usually I watch the local news when I'm getting ready for work. I have it on the background, and I look at my screen, and guess who's on there? John. And he's giving the city hell about the conditions of our roads. So let's go, John.
Nice.
On local. I think he's on Channel 10.
Let's go.
I texted him. I took a picture.
Get it,
like,
civil.
Like, yes.
We need to talk to John about what we do about these fishing things. All right. So let us know what you're having to drink in the chat after you put your score, and I'm going to pop my top. Here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst. Rate this pop top. If I can get the tab. Oh, 2 taps.
Nice rip, buddy. So cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Dr. Zevia.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's cold.
Oh, it's so cold.
All right, guys. So we got a great show ahead tonight. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're going to talk about. We were for 6 days in Rancho Leonero, and we got some stories to tell. And we're going to do a huge slideshow presentation of some pictures. You guys are going to see the judge snorkeling.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think it was his first time.
I'm pretty sure it was maybe at least his first time. At least his first or second time. Judge, was that your first time snorkeling? If not, how long had it been since you snorkeled? But he's a champ. He's a trooper. Dude, he went for it.
Heck yeah. We'll talk about that. And we're going to show some pictures from that. And then we're going to go and do another slideshow about the pickle run coming up on October 7th. So hang on there if you guys are participating or want to know about the pickle run. We talk about that right after Rancho Leonero. And then we got an epic. Since we've been off for 2 weeks, we got an epic PB shout. 2 weeks worth of PB shout outs. So extended PB shout out. It's going to be good.
Okay. I like it. Very nice.
That is the show tonight. Yeah,
Benji said it was 96 today. Okay. A little relief.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's good.
Judge says yes. That was his first time snorkeling.
Oh, okay.
That was awesome.
Dude, that was very good, Judge.
Yes. I'll give a shout out to this guy right here, Roman. He coached me. I'm not a very good snorkeler. He coached me, and he coached Eric and the other Eric, and we went out there and gave us some advice, and snorkeling was awesome. You guys will see some cool. When Roman puts out the actual video of Rancho Leonero, you guys are going to see some cool underwater footage. That's all I got to say.
So many things to see. Man, when we get to that section, we'll talk about that a little bit because that was re-inspiring. It was awesome.
Okay. But as first, always, we're going to give our announcements. So we have a club called the Mad Max Fishing Club. Cheers. And we do some outings. If you want to get involved in it, it's free. Just have to be cool. Go into our Discord, Salt the Dango, or put the link. Check out Mad Max Fishing Club. We do all kinds of kayak, boating, dinners, Mary Macmas, all kinds of stuff. So check that out. First announcement, we got the pickle run. You can see I'm already ready. Already dressed up, ready to go for the pickle run. Why am I wearing this? I don't know.
For
pickle run is
safety
October
first.
7th. All you guys that have not participated in it, don't be too intimidated. It's a journey, but we all make it. And we're going to have a mothership out there, and we're going to go over that today. So if you want the details on it, you're going to be hearing about that a little more. But that is coming up October 7th, which is 2 weekends away, 6 a.m. Dana Landing. So we're going to go over that a little bit later. If you're interested, Spotty Bowl's over, SBS is over, so a lot of the tournament series are over. If you're interested in a chill, kind of relaxed tournament series, that's not even a tournament, it's like a get-together fun session. The judge puts on an event called the WTF. It's a tag. You and a partner fish against some other teams in a small area. And that's September 30th, the next WTF event, 7 a.m. It's at San Diego Bay this time. And the judge always puts together like a cool tournament. This is hard baits only, so like crank baits, that kind of stuff. Fish to be determined. So judge is still messing around with the rules, but it's going to be over there by America's Cup and Spanish Landing. That's going to be our area. So if you want to participate in that, $60 a team, September 30th. Check it out. For more information, contact the judge at Spotty Bowl on Instagram, or you can get a hold of him through Discord. All right, here's a cool outing. We do this every year. October 28th. It's getting close to Halloween time, guys. You see the decorations going up. You know, Disneyland's already got all their stuff out. October 28th, we're going to put together the Mad Max Fishing Club official like costume outing, Halloween outing. Last year, Dario decorated his
that was good.
kayak awesome. Zach puts together a costume. So it's costumes are optional, but you know, we like them out there. Decorations are optional. But October 28th, put on your calendar if you want to go out there and just for a chill session, no competitions, just gonna go out there, have fun, fish around Mission Bay for a while. Put on your calendar, October 28th, details to come, but it's gonna be in Mission Bay.
Very nice.
It's always a fun one, I think.
Yeah.
I think me and Zach had the same costume last year. I want to do something different this year.
No, you were Gandalf.
Definitely. No, I wasn't Gandalf.
It's hard to do Gandalf in the kayak, dude, because there's so much material, you know.
Maybe I'll be
just do Gandalf in shorts.
Done Gandalf too many times, like 7 years in a row at Comic-Con. I'm wearing it out. Put her on. I don't know. Figure out something. Maybe I'll be Tiki Dave. I'll be Tiki Dave this Halloween.
Nice.
It's the coolest dude I know, right? So, okay. So October 28th, Mission Bay. Plan on that. That's gonna be fun. Judge has put together another. I don't know if there's a tournament, but he's gonna crown a grand champion. He had TV Metal Art make this Spotty Bowl Grand Championship belt. October 20th, if you have ever won a Spotty Bowl, if it's amateur or not amateur, if it's Weekend Warrior, if it's Pro Division, Masters Division, Shore Division, you can use the championship you earned to enter the Grand Championship. You have to be a prior champion. And we're going to fish once up in north and once down here south in San Diego. And the combined score of the winners of that will be that year's grand champion. And they will hold that belt until next year when they get to try to enter it again, I guess. So that's October 20th. So you champions, if you want to participate in that, talk to a judge.
That's good. Real quick, guys. Sorry to interrupt, Brian.
No problem.
Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button because it's going to help promote the live stream to the rest of the group that's subscribed. And today's show is going to be really good, so I really want people to come watch it. It's going to be really good. And if you can, go the extra step and share it on either your like Twitter or your Instagram, wherever. You could do !share, and it'll give you a link in the chat that you can just copy. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it real quick. Share. And if you copy that URL, paste it wherever you're going to share it, it'll bring them directly into this live stream. Okay?
We appreciate that, guys. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and if we do, guess what? We're gonna have a hot tube pontoon boat, right? Party time.
Judge, yes, my nose is bruised, but you should have seen the other guy.
There you go. We got in a fight. See, this is my. I don't know if you see that.
We settle our differences.
Sometimes in the room, things go down, right?
Yeah. What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. We're still friends.
Right, baby.
No, I think Brian got messed up because of them dad jokes he's been telling us.
Remember, I fell down the stairs.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, but yeah, I got
so
raked.
This time of the year, another thing coming up. We got in November, we're gonna have the November 1st. We're gonna start the Species Challenge. So Alex Norton, 2-time Species champion. Let's see if somebody can defeat him this year. November 1st, we'll be starting up the Species Challenge. We'll be going about that more on the show later, but that's gonna be starting November 1st, and it's gonna end on December 8th. And the reason why it's ending on that is because we've got a date December 9th for Merry Macmas. Believe it or not, Merry Macmas is not too far away. So our club has a Christmas outing. Go ahead and describe that thing.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what Macmas is, it is our holiday party. We just call it Macmas. It's a holiday party. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. We celebrate it just to have the community together, and everybody's welcome. You don't have to be an MMFC member. You could just show up with your family, have some fun. We usually do a white elephant gift exchange. That's probably like the highlight of the thing, right?
Yeah.
And then for the past couple of years, Captain Dan's been doing pizzas for us, which is amazing. And we're not gonna make him do pizzas for us again. I want Captain Dan to be able to relax, but still, we'll figure something out as far as food goes. And we might just we might sell food tickets ahead of time. That way, we know exactly how many people are coming and how much food to get, and then there's no misunderstandings with anything else, and it'll be great. But that's what we're doing for Maximus. It's really fun. Think of it as like a holiday party you would go to, like if you were at your job. We'll do pizza again. No worries. Oh shoot.
Jeez, Captain.
We'll figure it out, Captain Dan.
Awesome.
We'll figure it out.
Figure that out.
Yeah. But yeah,
And we
Maximus,
also give out club awards, so
Yep.
club records. So if you've set a club record this year, you broke a club record, you'll get presented the club record. I think we do Mac of the Year at that, right?
Yep, Mac of the Year, and we also
Mac of the Year.
Yep. And this will be the second time we give awards for club record. So biggest fish of a species. You can see that in the Discord. Last year there was a lot. This year there won't be as many because you have to break a record now on most of these categories. So it's really good.
And then also crown the species champion. All right, so put that December 9th. Put that on your calendar, guys.
So we need to do a species. We're going to do the species challenge too then.
Yeah, November 1st through November 8th is going to be species challenge, and we'll go over that, guys. If you're wondering what that is, you're gonna find out.
So lots of stuff to do.
You got any more now?
Yeah, that's
a lot of it.
That's a lot of announcements, but it's good. We're trying to give you guys a lot of things to do. Don't feel like you have to participate in every single thing, right? Whatever piques your interest, whatever you want to participate in, jump in, have a blast. The whole point is we want to provide you guys a means to, an excuse to fish more, right?
Clean our community.
It's more fun to fish with friends. Fish with friends.
There you go.
Cool.
There you go. I agree.
All right, so we're moving on.
You might be wondering, am I wearing a turtleneck? No. One thing I want to promote, because of this cloudy weather, Salty Dangler brought this up. So the main thing that you forget when you go out and fishing in this cloudy weather is that seems like when you get your worst sunburn.
Yep.
I'm horrible at this in my youth. I didn't cover up, and I'm paying the price now. So I want to promote this a little bit. Cover up your skin. This is the easiest way. Let me show you how fast I can cover my skin. You ready?
Ready. Dong. Instant ninja.
There you go, guys. Took me 2 seconds.
You missed the bridge of your nose.
Ready to go. Yeah. There we go.
Did I show you guys that hack?
But
Did I show you guys that trick?
Also have sun.
Go ahead, keep going.
I also have sunscreen on, so I put that on prior. But remember, guys, this cloudy weather, you always forget. And just remember, always have your buff on. I was talking to the judge. Let me take this off. I was talking to the judge in Mexico. And he wasn't very comfortable with the mask idea, the buff. So I gave him like a little bit of a higher end one. Like this one I have around my neck is kind of the cheaper ones. Like I don't know if it's cotton material, but they fit a little bit of tight on your face. They make higher end ones like the Sim one where they fit a little looser. They have the same protection. They're a little lighter weight material, but the cool thing about these is most of these little higher end ones have like breathing holes up in the front. So if you're not comfortable with like a mask over your nose or breathing, check out the ones that are a little more expensive. They're a little higher end, a little lighter weight material, and they also have the breathing holes, which make it easy for all day.
You know who makes a good one that's not as expensive as the Sims one, but it is pretty. It has a right cut, so it goes over the bridge of your nose and under your eyes like this.
Yeah,
is the Anetic one. Anetic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same material, and it's it's not as expensive though, because I know Sims is pretty pricey.
Well, it's shaped too. See how it goes down, so it covers your neck. That's what you're paying for in these little more expensive ones. They're better protection, but you can see they have different shapes that go up the back of your head, around your neck. So
that's it. I think Anetic opened a brick and mortar store in Carlsbad. So
okay. Yeah, check them out.
So they're local.
Check them out. But buffs are easy to wear, easy to put on and off. Take your drink, put it back on.
Yep.
Protect your skin. Especially remember that on the cloudy days.
And remember to put lotion on that skin.
Sunscreen.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh man, I can't believe.
I can't believe there's only 20 likes. I'm scared.
Can you believe the price of gas lately?
Oh,
it's insane.
dude.
The price of gas. But you know what? Forget. I know.
That's
forget
wild.
about the price of gas. Have you heard about the price of chimneys? They're through the roof. It's crazy out there. No.
Oh my gosh. What up, Zach? Zach Riggs in the house.
All right, let's move on. All right, so let's bring up this. I'm going to go to my screen share. We're going to start our Rancho Leonero. So hold on one second, Roman. I'm going to go to my screen share if you're ready.
me try this. Let me put this vibe music. This music ain't stopping, Brian. Good start.
I feel like I'm right in Rancho Leonero again. Remember when the judge got up and started dancing? Wow,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
On the table,
Who
even.
would have guessed you would have the moves like that? I couldn't believe it.
Got the moves like Jagger, dude.
Whenever you're ready.
Ready.
I'm ready. Okay. What's going on?
Go for it.
All right. Are we ready? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just sitting here.
we're going.
Okay, sorry guys. So, Rancho Leonero. We went down to Rancho Leonero for about 6 days right here. So we're gonna show you a slideshow. Rancho Leonero right here. First off, obviously we start at the airport. So we went through CBX,
guys.
which is you're in America, but you cross over like a little bridge over the border and you get into a airport in Tijuana. And I thought it was super convenient. The pricing was pretty good. One thing I do have to tell you guys is see these big long tubes that we all brought. They ended up costing us like $120 to ship. So plan on, if you're flying there, put that in your costs. They are expensive to ship these big tubes. So that's us starting out. All got our tubes. Eric, Roman, and I.
Brian made his own tube.
That's right.
Custom.
Home Depot special. Here we go. Getting ready to get on the planes. Here's Eric with a huge smile. He's got his passport in his hand. I think the judge may have reached in his pocket about 1,000 times, making sure he didn't lose his passport. Judge was very nervous he's going to lose his passport. Funny story is, Dorman said I made my own Home Depot.
Wait, go back.
Go back.
Go back to the other photo. Can you move your mouse off the screen?
Yeah. There you go.
Keep going back until you see your thing. So we're checking in. One more. Go back one more. We're checking in, and the guy's weighing Brian's tube, and Brian, I don't know if he screwed this carry this bag onto that tube. It was like one thing, and so he couldn't take it apart. When we tried to weigh it, the guy's like, "Oh, this has to come off." And Brian's like, "Well, we can't because it's screwed in there." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." And the guy's like, "Well, what can we do?" He's like, "Well, you can take it over there and get it wrapped in plastic." And I'm like, "Okay." So then go ahead, continue from there.
So the guy said I had to get it wrapped in plastic. So they had a guy that actually did this. So I took it over to this smaller guy and I said, I need to get this wrapped in plastic. And the guy proceeded, I'm not kidding. What do you think it was? Like 5-7 minutes or so?
It was way more than 5 or 7 minutes, dude. Like
He
Brian
started at the bottom and wrapped it all the way to the tip and then went up and down it. I'm not kidding, like 4 or maybe 6 times up and down it. Till the plastic was like a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, he was wrapping it for so long that I had time to notice it and message Brian. I sent him a text. I was like, "Dude, you could tell him to stop anytime now." I was like, see, where Brian is standing now, that's where I was, and he was way at the other end, back down the hallway, and I could see that it was just way done. And I was like, "Brian, you need to tell him to stop."
But this is what I said. I'm not going to tell the guy how to do his job. First of all, I had to pay $15 to get it wrapped, and the guy just kept. And Eric Klein was standing right next to me, and I look at him. I go, "Dude, am I on candid camera or something here? Because this guy is really taking his time and wrapping this thing. I mean, extensively."
Yeah, that thing was a cocoon. By the time it was done, I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow." That guy was like, "Hey, don't tell me how to do my job."
I'll wrap this. So I got my $15 worth of plastic on that thing for sure. So.
Oh.
And when we got to Mexico, it was still all in one piece, so that was good, I guess. We took off throwing Valaris, and I thought this was a cool picture, right? We took off there, San Diego Bay, looking at it from Tijuana. I didn't realize how close it was to the border. From that angle,
Right.
You see South Bay, it's like right there. It's like,
Yeah.
it seems like miles away. So there's a picture of us taking off. We get to Rancho Leonero, and we had our driver waiting for us in a Suburban, thank goodness, because I don't think the driver was expecting to pick us up with these gigantic 10-foot-long rod holders. What are you doing there?
My first beer of the trip. The guy had beers in the cooler for us.
I guess in Mexico, when you're in a taxi cab or whatever you call that, it's okay to ever, have a beer.
Yeah, and you never let Cobra drink alone. Okay, that's one of the rules of a travel club.
So our driver shoved all that stuff in there. I got the way back. Thank goodness we had a Suburban. If we had anything smaller, we probably wouldn't have fit in there. So this is our journey across. Here's my view going to Rancho Leonero. And when you get to Rancho Leonero, our driver had never been there. You don't realize that it's kind of like off the beaten path.
Well, it's
like
so close to the water.
Off the highway.
Yeah,
you get off the highway and it's about a 10-minute ride down a dirt road.
Yeah, a couple of dirt roads, but it's perfect because you're right at the water, right at the water's edge. Like you're there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean it's secluded. It's like you take this little dirt road for about 10 minutes, and it's like a single lane, little dirt road with cows and walking. I think we saw 2 snakes while we were going in there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Going through mud puddles. It was like it's not like it was kind of cool. Like where the heck are we going? We get there, and here's what the Rancho Leonero looks like. This is the view from our front door. So we're looking out towards the food area, and you can see how close we are to the water. Right on it. Right on it. This is a view from me and Roman's room, and I think this is Captain Dan's right next to us, and the judge was on the other side. So very nice place. Our room came with a cat, so it was awesome. When we showed up, we had a guard cat ready to go. Eric, did you guys have a cat, or was that just us?
Captain, that road is 5 miles from the main road. The dirt road is 5 miles. Yeah, seems about right.
Okay, yeah, it took a little while though. What amazing me? He's even way down when you're way down in Mexico. Google Maps knew the dirt road.
Point. Yeah,
it was a left turn here, and it was just a little dirt road, and it was on point. So there's our cat. Never named him. And here's what our rooms looks like. So every day after fishing, and let me tell you something about Rancho Leonero.
Hold on. Wait. Does anybody in the chat notice anything missing? We'll give you guys a minute.
You talking about my toe?
No, besides Brian's other foot. No. Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Pants.
Besides pants. Yes.
So
Peter got it. And Jeff.
Yes, they got it.
Can you imagine?
There's no TV.
Yeah.
We went 6 days of TV.
It was pretty nice, actually. I didn't realize how.
Yeah, it bothered me at all.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all either. I actually so it really messes with your sleep schedule because it gets dark. There's nothing to do, and there's no TV. And if I started watching my phone for 2 minutes, I get sleepy, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go sleep. I was going to bed at 8:30 or 9. Ridiculous.
The thing about Rancho Leonero, in San Diego, if it's 85, 89 degrees, it's no big deal. But when you go to Rancho Leonero and it's 89 degrees and that humidity hits you, get ready, boys. You're going to be taking about 5 showers a day, dude, because you sweat like crazy. It is humid down there. If you've been to Florida in the summer, it's similar to that kind of humidity, but it's nice. I'm not going to complain. But it's a little higher humidity down there. So when you go into your room, if you've ever been to Vegas and you go from outside to inside and that air conditioning hits you like a blast, that's how our room was. Our air conditioner never turned off once.
Yeah.
I think we turned that down to whatever 16 degrees Celsius is. And it was just
dying on the wall.
24/7, never turned off. But that was nice. It was nice to go into that room and get that blast of air conditioning. Another cool thing about this room, if you look at the ceiling, when me and Roman first went in there, we're looking up at it, and it's like a palm tree. What do you call those? Thatch
oh
roof?
Yeah, like the root. It's a palapa.
Palm fronds?
It's a palapa.
Yeah, it's like all that's between you and the environment above is palm fronds. The whole roof is like that, so you can kind of see some little rays of light coming through it. It's very interesting. I've never been in a room like that.
But it's super cool because when you look up at it, the way it's put together, it's just really well done. It's like a pattern to it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the craftsmanship.
It's like a weaving of a twine, and they're laid just perfect. I don't know. It was pretty interesting.
We should have got a close up of it.
Here's chilling. Here's another view of our room.
That's me before I fell asleep. Chilling.
Here's
putting out the vibe.
Another view of our room. Yeah. It did have a swimming pool. I only went in there. Do you ever go in the swimming pool? I think I just went in there one time.
No, you went in there twice at least, Brian. Because remember
you went in there?
No, you did.
Oh, did I?
And twice I heard. Remember?
Swimming pool?
So we come back from fishing one day.
No. Oh yeah. I do remember this.
Yeah, we come back from fishing one day, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take a shower real quick. So I jump in the shower first. Brian's like, all right, I'm gonna go in the pool for a minute. So he goes to the pool. I jump in the shower, and I have the window slightly open so I can just like get some air, right? And I hear a child crying. I get, like 5 minutes into my shower, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Anyway, I just remember thinking like, oh, who brought their kid here, and why are they crying, right? But anyway, just finished my shower, and then like afterwards, Brian told me like he go tell us a story.
I was sitting in the pool, and this kid comes over and sitting next to me, and he thought I was his dad. So he was like sitting next to me talking, and I'm just like, okay. And then he looked over and saw it was me, and I wasn't his dad. He started crying. I immediately got out of the pool and left.
Oh my God, so funny.
No, it wasn't me, Leonard, crying. It was, I don't know. I scare kids.
Poor kid.
From USA to Mexico now.
Can you imagine talking to somebody thinking it's your dad, and all of a sudden it's just some complete stranger? It's so funny. And then the next day, did you make him cry the next day, or he was just crying?
Prior to that, the kid came up to me and was talking to me again and thought I was I guess I looked like his dad. I don't know. Oh, and then he just ran off. He kind of cried, but didn't run off. So I don't know.
Get the kid some glasses. Jeez.
Stranger danger,
right? Yeah.
Seriously. I was just chilling. Here's our dining area. You can see the judge back there. So this is our dining area. Awesome. They had indoor or outdoor, but we usually chose the outdoor dining area. So, and here's what the beach looked like right in front of there. And cool thing, at night, I don't know, in the evening, the cows came rolling in. So cows are down in the water, walking down the beach.
Yeah, it had just rained before he got there. So there's all this green vegetation everywhere. It looked beautiful. Like the whole like this landscape was green. It's awesome. Like not what I was expecting. I was expecting a bunch of cactuses, or cacti, and
like a desert
and
but
sand.
It wasn't really.
But it was nice.
This is actually the view from where we're eating dinner. So this is our nightly view. You can see cows drinking seawater, salting themselves up, making them tasty. Here's a beach out front. Ken? Beautiful beach. So you leave your room, you walk right out here, and you kind of see a little reef up there. And to me, it's unbelievable snorkeling. It's unbelievable. You're going to see some pictures of it later. Hopefully, Roman talk a little bit later about the video. He's going to make soon. But unbelievably snorkeling for just walking out of your room.
Yeah.
Walk down the beach in the water, and boom, you're right in it. I mean, you could take 10 steps in the water, look in, and there's beautiful fish everywhere. So.
Yeah. Like in
I don't know why
3 feet of water.
Leonero doesn't promote that more. I mean, the fishing's awesome, but the snorkeling, I mean,
that's great.
Usually when you go to a place like Hawaii or the other side, Cabo San Lucas, it's like $300 to like get in a boat and take you to snorkeling. You know what I mean? It's like a whole event. This is just walk out your room and you're in there. So
did we snorkel? We snorkeled like how many times did we snorkel? Like three times, 4 times?
I think I snorkeled every day but the first day.
Okay.
So every day after fishing, we would
I snorkeled one less day than you
for an hour.
Yeah.
And then we'd have like a meetup at 4:30 before dinner and go out and snorkel for at least an hour.
4:30 snorkel club.
That's right.
That was fun. Cool.
Here's the judge. Judge wearing glasses.
I don't think I've ever seen. I knew he had glasses.
Okay, here's Roman. He got a margarita that night, and my guess is probably talking to Eric about Bitcoin. Right
that was
looking
that was a
look on Eric's face.
That was like a single. That was like day 2 or day 3. That's before I started hitting the doubles. Okay. The double margarita on the tall glass. Cheers.
That's me with the water right there, probably though.
Yeah, it is shutting down. I think at the end of the year, so you have some time if you want to get out there. But we're talking with Brian about future trips. We'll talk about future trips after the presentation.
Yep. Here's us chilling.
Okay, come on. All the photos you're taking me have my eyes closed.
What's that?
All the photos have my eyes closed.
They did have a small little bar, and this is the inside of the restaurant. So we're going to get to the fishing pictures here in a minute, guys. I just want to give you the vibe of what the resort was like. There's a little tiny bar there, which is kind of nice. And this is what breakfast was like in the morning. So you'd show up buffet style, serve yourself. There's Eric and Roman getting ready to hit the breakfast, scarf it down, and then head on out. And once you've eaten breakfast, you go out to this right here. This is a cool dock. It's like, and then at night they pull it in with that tractor you can see up on the beach. And when it's ready to load, they just push it down into the water. So it's a movable dock.
Yeah, at the middle, at the fulcrum of that dock, there's like it's like an axle with two giant wheels, and they just kind of wheel it into the water.
Yeah, you can see
Crazy.
the tire prints on the beach right there. With that big loader is that big tractor right there is what they push it right on in there with. And then they take the same tractor and they push in all the fishing boats. So just push them in, pull them in, and then you get on here and they've got the night before you would give your food order and they'd have it ready for you in a cooler, all ready to go. You'd say you want 4 waters and burritos or whatever, chips, whatever you wanted, and they'd have it ready on the dock in the morning and they'd throw it on the boat with you. That was pretty. I thought that was pretty cool. Very convenient. You know, you just show up with your fishing gear and get on the boat. Was that guy's name Eddie? The guy who was in charge?
No. Yeah, it was Eddie.
I think it's Eddie. Yeah, Eddie right there. He's the guy in charge. He's the man in charge of all this. And then you would just stand right here, and when you walked up, Eddie would call your boat over, and you'd get right on it. And then you'd leave off. There's the ranch from the water right there, and let's get into the fishing now. Now you know exactly what the ranch is all about. Bum, bum, bum. So we fished we were there for 6 days, 2 days of travel. And the 4 days that we were actually in the resort, we fished every single day from 6 a.m. till 1 or 2 p.m. every day. And each day you'd get on the boat and you'd basically tell the captain what style of fishing you'd want. Roman was going for a wahoo, so we'd do that. Or if I want to go for the rooster fish, or do that. Or if you want a jig fish down at the bottom, we'd do that. So you'd tell your captain, he'd take you out. And here's day 1. So the 2 Erics were on their boat on day 1 together, and me and Roman were on our boat. We went out on separate boats, and talking to them, they did a lot of jig fishing right off the bat. They were dropping the submission fishing code jigs down at about 200 feet deep. And let me tell you guys, the bonita out there, if you like catching bonita, this is your place. There is a million bonita. I mean, you drop and you hook into a bonita at like 200 feet, and you think, it's a bonita, but these bonita out there are big and they're strong. And when you hook into one at 200 feet, it's a long pull to get that thing up from 200 feet down to the surface. It's a fun fight. And I saw Roman, you hooked into a giant one.
Yeah. There's a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, Roman. And I think the judge also hooked into a giant one. How big do you think that thing was? 15 pounds? I mean, not a giant fish, but for a bonito, it was like at least 15 pounds. And they put some fight. They put some stank behind it, you know.
Yeah, they're constantly moving. Yep.
So if you want to get that bicep curl in early in the morning, or are you just there for the fight? Which I was into that fight. I was into the jig fishing. Go out there and rope in some bonitas. Here's a judge holding up one. There's a big one. But you can see they're a little different than our bonita. Maybe their bonita are bigger there, but it seems like the bonita I catch down in La Jolla don't put, first of all, you catch them up on the surface here.
Yeah.
So it's usually a fight.
Yeah,
it's a big difference when you're at 200-300 feet and you got to fight that thing all the way up. You can see Judge was tearing it up on the submission fishing code jig. I think Judge convinced that captain of that jig and gave it to him at the end of the trip, because I don't think the captain had saw that. So Muto, get ready. Those guys down there might be ordering up some of those things. Okay, then we went rooster fishing on the beach, and the roosters are right 15 feet, right on the beach, 20 feet deep. This is the day I went with the Erics, I think. And you could see how clear the water is there. It's like swimming pool. That right there you're looking at is a bait ball. And for some reason, I think we went there multiple times, and that bait ball was always in the same spot on the same beach, just sitting there. It was very, very, it never moved. And I think the fish right there just kind of cruise in when they want and pick one or two off. But the rooster fish are right there up on the beach. And did we catch a rooster fish? Let's find out. So here we go. First rooster fish caught, I think, was the Judge. Bam, there you go. The Judge went out, and it was my goal to catch a rooster fish. And I think the Judge just was like, he doesn't care. He just wants to catch any fish. He's just happy to go. He said, I don't know if he Judge, did you have a goal? But a rooster fish, let me give you my input of the rooster fish. So rooster fish, what way we caught them was trolling live bait. That's all. This time of the year, the captains were telling us that June is really rooster fish season. They're in June. The rooster fish are like a nuisance. There's so many that you catch them on whatever poppers, whatever you throw in there. That's the time. So if you want to get rooster fish, my captain told me to go out there in June. But the time of the year we went, there are a few of them, and they're super finicky. So the only way you can get them is on trolling live bait. So our captain would catch us some live bait, and we'd basically troll it behind the boat, and you'd wait for that hookup, and it's almost like a yellowtail. You just let it run, and then engage, and then crank, and hope the hook, because you're fishing with a single circle hook.
Yeah.
And then I would say, I think I caught 3, and I hooked up with lost 7. They're one of the most frustrating fish because you fight them and fight them and fight them. You saw this, Roman, and they come up to the surface and they throw that hook, or they'll get it and they'll hold on to that bait and run. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get one. And they just let go. So it's a frustrating fish. They're hard to get. And they kind of, to me, they don't fight like super hard like you would think. They fought kind of like a halibut. It had a good run and then kind of eased its way to the boat. And then when it saw the boat, it freaked out again and took off again. So it kind of felt like a halibut fight to me. You think, Judge, did you think the same thing? I think we talked about it and it seemed similar to that, not like a tuna where it's just nonstop until it's dead, And there's a Judge with that. I think the Judge got the biggest rooster fish. Congratulations, Judge. Judge was tearing it up out there. There's the same fish. I think we're thinking, we didn't weigh them, but we're thinking they're in the 15, maybe 20 pound range. They can get huge, like 70 pounders. I think I hooked in with Roman once, a really big one. Never saw it, but it had a different feel to it. Okay, then at night, we'd come in off the boat, and if you caught a tuna or some type of fish, you could hand it to the chef, and he would prepare it. And what did they prepare that night? Was it triggerfish there, Roman?
So on the right, I'm dipping some tuna sashimi right there. Next to that was triggerfish ceviche. And to the very left with the 2 forks, that was white bonito sashimi. Really good. Like I didn't think bonito was that good, but the way they did it there was super good.
I mean, super fresh, right?
Yeah, super good.
The Judge is in the background. He's going in for it too. Tried that triggerfish. Triggerfish is pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, you could catch a fish if they caught a Dorado or whatever, and they'd prepare it and they'd bring it out to our table. We ate dinner once Captain Dan got there. I think even before Captain Dan got. Captain Dan has like a group of awesome group that goes down there. I think they've been going down there, 20 years. Damn. And they invited us to eat dinner with them. So we got to eat dinner with them every night. Let's see some pictures of them later.
We got to sit at the big table.
Yeah, well, the VIPs, man. It was a reserved table.
That was awesome.
Dan has a lot of pool down there.
It was very cool the way everything worked because like you basically had your room number. Kind of like on a sporty, you show up and you get your number assigned to you. Well, you have your room number, and you just kind of put stuff on the room.
Yeah,
and you settle up at the end. It was really very, very affordable.
Yeah, I thought it was very affordable for that. Here's some close-ups of the paired fish.
Triggerfish
and bonito.
Triggerfish sashimi on the right, and that's tuna on the left. The bonito's on a different plate.
And here's the Judge once again. The Dorados out there are plentiful. It's a 2-fish limit, but it seemed like when you found the Dorado, our captains knew just what to do. They would start throwing out chunks, or you would, one thing I'm not I'm a bass fisherman. I don't claim to be anything but a bass fisherman. And one thing I learned from Roman and the captain on this trip is when you catch a Dorado, Roman would hold it over the side, and let it just free swim. And that would entice like all the other Dorado around. And the captain, my captain, what was our captain's name again? I don't want to get it wrong.
Santos.
Our captain Santos would proceed to scream at me in Spanish. I know a few words because I do work on a construction site, and they weren't PG-13 words to get my reel in the water and get one of these fish while the fish are around because they come and go. So.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to get something in the water, put a line in the water. That's so funny.
Yeah, he was aggressive with me, but I think by the end I may earned a little bit of respect for him. But at the beginning, he's like, I can't repeat what he said, but basically, get something in the water right now.
Yeah, that's funny. So funny.
And There we go. Eric Klein also got his rooster.
Nice.
I know that, Eric. Congratulations. I know that was your fish that you were going for too. Me too. And Eric pulled in his rooster. Butte right there.
Yeah,
You can see
very
how
nice.
shallow they are. You can see the water, guys, too. It's literally when I say swimming pool water, it's swimming pool water. It's crazy clear.
So warm.
Eric, yeah, it's not only warm but crystal clear. What was it? I think the water was 85 degrees.
I didn't even
looked
bring
at
my
what
dive
trying
watch,
to
but I
go up.
think Dan said it was like 90 in the 90s. It was super
No
warm.
way.
I've been in 80-degree water, and it felt like at least 80.
Well, it was 80. His fish finder was set to Celsius, so wasn't exactly sure what it was, but I think I asked him and he said 85. But that was like miles out, not up by the shore. So
I think I see.
it could have been warmer
I think
than
I
that.
see a new person in the chat. What up, Rick? Are you new to the chat, dude? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Thanks, Rick.
Feel free to ask any questions throughout the show, and it's encouraged. So don't feel like you can't ask questions. We won't beat up on you. If you have any questions, just ask.
Our normal show is talking about local San Diego fishing. We just happen to have this trip, so we're gonna show some highlights of it. And there's also Eric Klein. What is that? Is that
That's a Pargo Amarillo.
Yeah,
a
that's
yellow
a nice
Pargo.
fish right there. So that's a pretty rare one.
Very nice.
And here's a fish I did not catch, but I wanted to, and I wasn't on the Eric's boat when they caught it, which is a puffer fish.
I don't think
And
it's fully puffed.
the judge was telling me
Oh,
about
okay.
this.
So Captain Nat said the
Tell me-
pool was 91.
Oh, the pool was
Jeez.
91.
Jacu-
Jeez.
jacuzzi
It wasn't
pool.
refreshing, I'll tell you what. Like you think, because you get out, you're all hot and sweaty, you want to jump in that pool, cool off. It wasn't refreshing. It was like super hot. 86 to 87 was the water temperature out there. One cool soon it says.
What up,
Yeah,
Coach?
I think that's the same as where we were at. So
What up,
Eric
Yoke?
caught a puffer fish.
Mark G.
Looks like he got it on the Muto special too. But I've never caught a puffer. Have you ever caught a puffer fish?
No.
I
But
guess
but
it
swam
makes
with
like
one.
it makes like a bunch of cute noises. As,
Like
you
a
put it back in the water like a
like a Pokemon.
it sounds like it's a Pokemon singing to you.
Oh.
I didn't get to catch one, but I'm gonna put that on my bucket list fish. I know it's not a
Snag
sports
one.
fish, and I know you just randomly come across them, but
So
dang, that
funny.
thing looks cool. Yeah, I know, Zach. That's pretty cool. Puffer fish. There's a close up of her.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
What was it thinking eating that jig? Did pufferfish eat stuff like
I
that?
was like, ooh, looks tasty.
Here's another Dorado. We caught plenty of those. Dorado were out there. That's probably one of the smaller ones. I caught my PB Dorado out there too. And here it is. Finally, I finally got it. I was on the boat with Roman. So happy to get this. Flew all the way down there. Ever since I've seen like Danny Martinez and all those guys that catch rooster fish all the time, and I'm like, man, one day in my life I really want to catch one of those. I didn't get a giant. I think mine were around 10 or 12 pounds, the 3 I got. But just to be able to hold that fish, take a look at it, and I love the way that they treat it down there. They treat that fish like we treat a spotted bay bass or largemouth bass. It's like it's a sports fish, right? So they want you to take a picture and get it in the water back nice and quickly.
Eric wants to go back to the Dorado picture real quick. And then
Sure.
And then Rick has a question. He said, what's the best way to cook a Dorado? He got his first one on the H&M Landing overnight boat. Very nice. Congratulations, Rick. Round of applause from the live studio audience.
Nice. We'll go back.
And Coach said there's no wrong way to cook it. I like to pan. I use a cast iron skillet with butter and garlic. I love butter and garlic.
On what? On your Dorado?
Yeah. Just sear it in that. Flip over. You can see it you can see the fillet get white as it goes through. You just leave a little bit of translucence in the middle so it finishes cooking when you take it off. It's really good.
Captain
Yum.
Dan's friend Ron donated one of his Dorado to our club, or not club, to our dinner one night, and I think that was the best fish I had. It was like out of all the fish we had every night, the Dorado, man, it's just so good. We're so lucky to have that fish. All right, quick story about this particular fish right here. That's me on the right. That's the judge. So me and the judge, when the Dorado are hot, the captain throws in a bunch of chunks, right? He's already got, the captains are pretty good down there. They're ready for it to go. So me and Eric both had a chunk and just a circle hook on there. And when they're jumping, you just throw basically your chunk in the water and you're holding on for the bite. And the judge's line takes off and my line take off basically simultaneously. So we're thinking double hookup, right? We're like, oh yeah, double, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then, but I see my line and the judge's line coming together, and I'm like, oh, we must be crossed. And judge is pulling it, I'm pulling it, and I'm like, what's going on here? You know, we're only seeing one fish, but we're both pulling. Get it closer to the boat. I think I'm crossed up with them. You know, the captain's yelling at us, whatever. We get it closer to the boat, closer to the boat. And as we see the fish, it's got 2 circle hooks in one fish's mouth, one on one side, one on the other. The fish came up, ate the judge's bait first, and then came over and ate mine and had a double hookup. So me and the judge pulled in one fish simultaneously together, which is something I've never seen in my life. It was like I don't know what you call that, but it was a double Dorado pull-in. So it's like those videos of old tuna guys where they're like 2 guys fighting one fish.
That's right.
That was us. We're fighting a fish simultaneously, and we pulled it up. It had 2 circle hooks.
That Dorado had no hope. That was in.
He was out there for the smorgasbord. He was just grabbing and grabbing. So that was pretty cool, I thought. There's my rooster fish. Like I said, I'm super stoked with the way they treat those things. You know, it's a catch and release fish down there, and they treat them. The captains were very respectful for them, and so were we. And we treated them very nice. Put them back in. You know, took our pictures, and I thought it was pretty cool. That's my kind of fish. Here's Eric getting his Dorado. There, same rooster fish I caught. There we go. Finally makes an appearance. There's Captain Dan. He showed up a day or 2 after we got there. So I was fortunate enough to go on the boat with Roman and Dan for the day. And we went out there. Show you some pictures of that. Oh, I just want to show this picture. So when you go to Rancho Leonero, man, be prepared to sweat and be prepared to get bloody and dirty, because that's what you look like at the end of the day. You've gone through a day, man. I think I drank 4 waters in one day, maybe 4 big waters. I'm sweating full. Remember when Evander Holyfield used to fight and he used to be like super sweaty? You'd be like, that's disgusting. That was me out there, dude. Okay, then we got some diving pictures. So like I said earlier, their diving was phenomenal. I'm going to say, I know this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to say I almost enjoyed the snorkeling as much as I did the fishing. It was so...
I did.
Like,
it was super fun.
I think I told you, like, oh man, after getting out of there and seeing all these beautiful fish, I'm like, man, that's like a spiritual experience. Just going down there, catching your breath after a long day of fishing, laying on top, looking down, and just observing all these fish, you know, fighting for a little hole, or you know, sifting through sand looking for food, or chewing on a rock. You know, it's just such a calming, cool way to like end your day. You know, you had this spectacular day out on this water, and then to just be able to go. And is the water more buoyant there too? It seems like I don't know if it's more salty, but man, you really could float good there too.
It was an awesome experience. It's funny because this trip and going and doing the snorkeling during the trip, it made me remember like how much I miss like diving, dude. And like I just need to do more of that.
I enjoyed it so much. I'm buying like Roman showed me a mask that's what, $150 and a $50 snorkel. I enjoyed it so much. I think I'm going to start doing it more, even locally. I really enjoyed just observing the fish, you know?
And like, since you like fishing for spotties, you can go and observe the spotties. That's going to be fun.
Exactly what I'm thinking. So if you see somebody in Dana Landing, you know, floating around snorkeling, pictures, it may be me looking for spotties. There's Eric Klein. Eric Klein was all over the place down there. Eric Klein is obviously an advanced snorkeling guy. He was swimming around, looking in holes, sticking his arms places that I would never stick them. Yeah. So he was down.
Yeah, sticking your arms in the holes is dangerous because it could be like sea urchins or eels, even worse.
I got a story about that. I think Roman's gonna have some cool. I can't wait to see your video, Roman, when you put it out. But we were setting our GoPros down on the sea floor and just videotaping all the fish come up and look at them, all that. You know, I had a few on my camera too, which I like. It looks like an aquarium down there. Roman coming up from a deep dive. Here's the judge. That's the only picture I got of the judge diving.
Really?
Yes, that is him. Yeah, you see that gigantic leg? That's the judge's. That size 14 foot. That's him right there. And cool story about this. All right. I don't know if the judge even knows this, but I'm going to say it. So this is like, I don't know, 5-6 feet of water. It's not very deep. We first get in, you could see Roman there teaching the judge on how to wear his mask, snorkel, etc., everything he needs to know. while this is going on, if the camera could pan 10 feet to the left, there was about a 4-foot moray eel, and I hadn't seen one the entire trip. This is like my third or fourth time going out snorkeling. I hadn't seen one. I didn't know they were out there. And this moray eel, I'm keeping an eye on this thing, and it's swimming, just like they do, swimming away. And then all of a sudden, the judge
it was looking through like little holes, moving to the next hole, moving to the next hole.
It was just swimming around, and then the judge starts kicking around that size 14 like a madman, and that moray eel turns its head and looks our direction. And the judge has got his head above water. He doesn't know what's going on either. I don't know if you did, but
I saw it. Yeah.
I'm like Hawkeyeing this eel because the judge is only 15 feet away from it, and he's kicking towards it, and I got so nervous. I don't know if I'm a nervous guy about those sea creatures. I don't trust them. I grabbed the judge by his shoulder and like dragged him as hard as I could away from that thing, because that thing made me nervous, man. It went in an aggressive stance, and once I dragged away, I looked down, and that thing just kept on swinging around. But Judge, you were 15 feet away from a big old moray eel.
Yeah, I saw like 4 other ones that session. Yeah.
Glad you didn't tell me. No. All I saw was beautiful, colorful fish, and that's what made me happy out there. Nothing weird. Okay, here we go. Me and Captain Dan and Roman the next day out there. We all got our Dorados. Let's go, Captain Dan.
So this Dorado here was special to me because we hooked one Dorado while trolling what's called a hoochie, and that bait is pretty sweet. Oh, yeah. Okay, Cal, I'm a believer now. Cal is a believer in the hoochie, and I experienced the hoochiness.
Yeah, you did. That was
so
your bait.
We trolled the hoochie, and we caught a Dorado. I brought it in, and kind of again soaked it next to the boat to make the other fish kind of hang out. And that's when Santos is yelling at Brian, "Get something in the water!" Right?
He yelled at me every hour, guys.
And so while Brian is figuring out what to throw in the water, the hoochie fish is swimming around, and then eventually it pops off. But by the time it pops off, Brian's already hooked up on the next one. So now it's his job to keep the fish close to the boat. And so Brian's messing with that fish. I'm like standing around like, oh, that sucks. It came off. And then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I already have the popper tied. So I have the MMFC rod with the popper and my Tranx 500 ready to go. So I reel up the hoochie rod, put it away, grab the popper, and I'm like, whatever. Today's the day. See how it goes. I cast that thing, and when it hits, I'm seeing these fish swim around in the water. I see the color. I cast pretty good distance from the boat. They hear it hit the water.
It was beautiful. I saw the whole thing.
And I see a couple of them in the water. They're closer to the boat. They swing around and start going towards where the popper landed. I pop it a few times, and they key in on it even more. And one of them goes for it. And I see it about to bite it, and I popped it like thinking like it was already hooked, and he completely missed it. Like basically, I popped it too soon, and it knocked it out of his mouth, or he just missed it. And I was like, no. And by that time, I was so close to the boat with the popper, I was able to do 2 more pops, and then I just kind of reeled it up. And it came back towards the boat, that Dorado did. So while it was close to the boat, I threw it behind it again. I cast it again, hit the water, same thing. As soon as I hit the water, it heard it, turned around, and went for it. So I just popped it twice again, boom, boom, and then I just waited for him to bite it. He picked it up, started swimming with it, and then I felt the rod load up, and I just kind of like put a little tension on it, and it hooked itself. I had like 2 trebles to the face. It was awesome. It was like sight fishing, dude. It was so cool.
Nothing better than the top water bite.
Yeah.
Dude. That's it.
So good.
I love the top water bite. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool experience.
I think it's that fish right there, right?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yep. Get back to the dock. You just hand off your fish. You can have them clean it, vacuum package it, whatever. They got like a big freezer you can stick everything in. Here's us enjoying some more Dorados we caught. There's a glimpse of our captain right there, Santos. There's my PB Dorado.
Nice.
Like I said, I don't claim to be. That's not a huge one. I know you guys are probably got things to think.
No, that's a good one.
That's my PB Dorado. I'm super stoked to get that, and those fish are beautiful. Only thing I don't like about the Dorado is you get them out, they're beautiful, 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 and then you just watch their color like it's like Harry Potter. They just get like could go from green to gray, and you're like, ah. But They're beautiful fish.
Tastes good though. So
Captain
Tron, just call me Tron. That's the Anetic face shield right there.
Oh yeah, it's got the breathing holes. Yep. Beautiful sunset. Okay, here's Santos.
Oh, there's Santos. Yeah, that's a good picture.
This is an unfortunate story, but I think I'm going to tell it anyway.
Oh yeah.
But,
dang, that was like the first
day one. It's just me and Roman. I think it was probably in our first 2 hours of fishing. We're trolling Rapalas and a jerkbait, and we're trolling around. We're looking for the wahoo because that's what we really wanted to get the first day. So, or no, that was day one.
That was day one. Yeah.
Day one, we're trolling for wahoo. We had wahoo in our mind. Roman hooks up on the jerkbait with double treble hooks to a Dorado, pulls that thing in, gets it to the side of the boat, and just kind of dangling it, trying to get others to come over, but nothing was coming. So we're like, okay, let's get it off. I think we were going to release it because it was small, right?
Yep.
So Santos reaches down in there, and Roman's got his gear, disengaged on his reel, and Santos reached down there, and he's holding the fish, and he's holding the line and the bait in the other hand, and the Dorado on the side of the boat goes ballistic, just starts shaking, once loose, and the captain's hand slips on the fish, and both treble hooks from the jerk bait, one goes in his pointer finger really deep, and the other one goes right into the center of his palm, like the
muscle for the for the thumb, like right here.
It goes, and it's not like just pricked on the skin.
That thing was barb. That was past the barb.
It was all the way to the bend, guys. Yeah. So Santos has got a finger. He's got a hook in his finger, and the fish took off. So Santos lifts his hand up.
The fish.
We lost the fish, right? It's gone.
Yeah, we're gonna release it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all that he has, he lifts up his hand. He's got this jerk bait with 2 hooks. I mean, deep in his hand. And he's by himself. He rips the one out of his finger, and he's got a huge gash in his finger. It's nasty, guys. And remember, Santos is in his 70s too, so got a huge gash in his finger. And then Roman, being the excellent fisherman he is, goes over there, and we're looking at it, assessing the situation. And Santos says, "Grab the pliers." So I grab the pliers, the dikes for cutting. And I don't know if there's a miscommunication, and maybe this is why Santos was so mean to me for the whole trip, but or mean to me that day. But Roman's holding Santos's hand. I'm holding the pliers, which is holding the hook that's stuck into his palm, and Santos tells me to pull.
But he went to say cut it.
No, he said pull first time. Second time he said cut it. He says pull, and I'm thinking, okay. And you're holding onto his hand. And I say, "Are you ready?" And he says, "Yeah, pull. I'm ready." And so I know with treble hooks, it's like, it's a hard jerk, right? You don't like pull it like at a steady. It's like, and that, let me tell you guys, that hard jerk did not work.
Oh,
and Santos,
but he
was not very happy. He took it like a trooper.
He didn't flinch, dude. Well, he flinched a little bit, but not like he didn't make any audible noises. He was just like, "Let's just cut it." So then I'm like, "Cut it, Brian." So Brian cuts the hook at the bend, and he's still got the hook in his the
half the
barb in his hand.
One of the 3 trebles.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out how to get out of there. But he's like, all right. He takes with pliers himself the dikes, and he puts it on the bend of the hook, and he kind of just
twists
with it gripping it. He does this, like he does that. So he's pushing into his skin, kind of like when you take out the hook of a spotty's mouth. You kind of push it and take it out. Well, he did that with the pliers. He pushed in and rotated it out of there, and he pulled the hook out of his hand himself. Like a legend.
It wasn't like as smooth as Roman's described. It was nasty. Anyway, Santos, hands bleeding. Me being the ex-Boy Scout leader, I had a full-on first aid kit in my backpack.
That's awesome.
Santos reaches for his fish rag, and I'm like, "No, dude, put that fish rag away." And Roman, the nice guy he is, I handed him the first aid kit, and Roman took care of him. So applause to Roman. He cleaned it up, gauzed it up. We put a bandage on it, and Santos is like, "Okay, let's keep fishing." So Santos, you're the man, dude.
Yeah, it was that dude's no joke.
No joke. Yeah, hardcore Zach.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And later in the day, we switched the thing because it got like wet. It was just like, it's just really hot. So we switched it at the end of the day, and it looked a lot better. So didn't seem to bother him the rest of the trip. but
No,
still, that's
I
pretty.
think he cleaned it up. He
pretty
cleaned it up good. He
Yeah.
kept it clean. He cleaned it when he got home, so everything went good. Clean those cuts, guys.
Yep.
All right, here's dinner night.
Ooh, that's a good
So they
shot.
serve us nice chicken dinner. Yeah, you can see it's beautiful, guys. There's a judge enjoying his chicken dinner. Nice smile, Judge.
Oh, nice.
Here's the group. So finally, we got the whole
yeah.
Captain Dan back. Captain Dan sitting there. So this is the Captain Dan group. We got Ron, a bunch of Captain Dan's friends there, and you can see all us. Thank you, Captain Dan, for inviting us to this trip, bringing us in with your group. What a great bunch of guys and gals, and all the stories they shared. I enjoyed dinner every single night, hearing all those fishing stories. I think they enjoyed having us there because after going with the same people for 20 years, they've probably said all their stories to them 100 times. Like, all right,
we're all about those stories, though. That was awesome. Yeah, we loved hearing their stories. That was great.
Yeah, group of guys that we can.
Ron's wife. She was.
Yeah, which I'll put the
okay, cool,
right
cool.
here.
Yeah.
This is Ron, and this is Ron's wife, Captain Dan, over here.
Captain Dan's on the left, on the right over here. Yep.
She had a great. I mean, Ron and his wife have fished everywhere. They had stories of you name it. They've been there and they've fished it, and they're also divers. They had great diving stories too. Next day, more Dorados. A judge out there. I don't know, Judge, man, he tore it up out there. The judge was fishing the whole time with like a Saragusa. I want to say 8,000, which is a small spinning reel. Man, that guy could catch anything on that reel. Judge with another fish. Judge is a triggerfish. So the triggerfish are pretty plentiful out there. Me and Roman once hit like a triggerfish honey hole. We were just getting sick of them. We got out of there, but triggerfish are all over out there. That's what I'm talking about. So if you can see what the judge is fishing with right there, it's like a bass rod and a small spinning reel. But man, that Saragusa Shimano, that thing earned my respect. The judge was pulling in, you name it. And Dorados, big bonito, triggerfish, roosterfish. That was his. I think he could have just showed up with one rod and fished the whole trip, but that thing was working good. Well, I mean, the judge has got the guns to pull those things in, right?
At the
Here's
biggest...
a cool catch. Most people just shake this off and release it, but the judge, it's a funny story about this too.
It's like the biggest...
So the Dorado were biting, and when you go down to Cedros and you're trolling anything, there's 10 billion needlefish down there. They're jumping everywhere. They're like jumping every 100 yards. You see needlefish jumping behind the boat. When the Dorado bite takes off and you're throwing in the chunks or whatever, your live bait, the needlefish are out there too. And the judge hooked into the needle. And I think me and Eric may at the same time been trying to get a Dorado, or Eric was hooked into a Dorado, the other Eric. Judge pulls that needlefish out to take a quick picture because that's his PB needlefish. And before he took this picture, he actually dropped it on the deck of the boat. And there's 4 of us back there. And that needlefish, you can see its mouth. It was just going around, bit the judge, bit the captain, bit the other Eric. I pulled my feet up. That thing was a biting fool down there. Bit 3 people in, got the picture, and threw him back in. Like, he got its revenge on us. But if you don't know what a needlefish is, it's got this, I don't know, a 3-foot long mouth full of teeth. And all it does is exactly what you think, man. It's like chopsticks with teeth, man, biting
that thing around, yeah.
So there you go. I've never seen anybody pose with a needlefish like that, but that's the club record, I think, right there. That thing was really safe. And here we go. The biggest rooster fish of the trip. Eric the Judge Lehman pulling it in off the beach. Biggest one landed, at least. And Eric, congratulations on that fish. It was a beautiful fish. There's our captain, Armando. That guy, Armando, if some weird reasons you actually watch this, man, that guy worked. He worked hard, dude. He caught us our bait. And when we weren't fishing, that guy was on everything, dude. So tying knots, catching bait, throwing out chunks. He's a hard worker right there. The judge. Here's my Dorado. Here's Captain Dan getting off the boat, fish, throwing out the purple popper. We saw that. There's the beach.
That's a pop right there. Dorado. Oh, that's nice.
Eric, I'm gonna go through these pictures a little faster. Hang on. There's Roman on the submission fishing code jig catching a trigger fish right there. There's what a lot of the trolling was done with. If you those big Rapalas, those big high speed, whatever you call those things, big long Rapalas. Another trigger fish. There's me catching a trigger fish. Yeah, I mean, they were all over the place, those things. Here's some just more scenic pictures. Another Dorado. Judge with another fish. Me with another Dorado. Okay, and then we're winding it up here. So, yeah, nice picture right here.
That's
the group.
cool.
I think this was our last night. So this is the restaurant bar area. And here's our last dinner night. Drinks. Roman had its strawberry daiquiri.
Oh, that was like the night 3, I think.
Was it night 3?
Yeah.
Eric Klein.
Look at Eric's Cobra's giving us a blue steel, dude.
Yeah. That's Zoolander?
Zoolander. Let's go.
And me, I actually had a beer this trip. You know, it says Fishy Hour right on the mug, just like the one I had at home. But yeah, somehow they convinced me. Me and the judge actually had one beer, maybe two, the whole trip. And here it is: Sunset, Farewell, Rancho Leonero. Great group of people. Great trip. I loved every minute. Oh, and Roman took this picture. So on the way back, I couldn't get all my stuff in my bag. I'm literally like jumping up and down trying to get the zipper. I didn't realize you took this picture until I was going through. I'm like, you slippery rat.
That's so funny.
That bag, dude. I was hoping. I was like, if they open this,
I know it's like.
That thing was gonna blow up. That thing was stuffed to the gills. And here we are getting back home. There's Eric on the U.S. side, and we're just crossing. That's the border right there when you go over that tunnel, the CBX tunnel.
Oh, yeah. Zach, they had sodas, juices, water. You could do any of their mixed drinks version. So there was plenty of options for non-drinkers, dude.
Oh yeah.
What up, Doc Soccer? Welcome.
And what is that thing, Roman?
Oh,
Roman.
I still have it.
I don't know why I'm ending this with this.
It's
So
perfect.
Roman was the whole trip was trying to convince me to eat this thing. He found it like in his tackle bag.
I had a Ziploc bag with a bunch of submission jigs, some Z-Man stuff, and it was just like my small baits bag. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna store it in my check-in in case I need it. And Brian's like, oh, you even have a snack in there. I was like, what? I don't. And this Snickers bar's been sitting there for I don't know for how long. I bought it at Dana Landing.
Oh, gosh.
I threw it in my.
I think it has an expiration date right here. If anybody can read that.
It's like it's like a month expired.
I don't know.
6.
Two
Oh,
or
6.
3 years. I don't know. 6 years expired. I don't know.
It's like 3 months
Anyways,
expired. So the whole time I was trying to get Brian to eat it with me, but he wouldn't. He didn't want to do it. So
in
I
the
still
chat,
have it.
Who would eat that thing, dude? It looks like he's been sitting on it for like 6 months.
No, I didn't say. I
Did
just
you
got.
eat
It got worse. It got worse over the trip too.
Did you eat it?
Not yet. I'm gonna eat it though.
Oh, not yet. All right. We're save that thing.
I'm gonna eat it live.
Somebody at Mary
No,
Mac.
you know what? I'm
gonna
gonna.
eat.
This is gonna be my Macmas White Elephant gift exchange gift.
It has to eat it. Whoever
Yeah.
has to eat it. Anyway, farewell, Rancho Leonero. It was an awesome trip. Sorry we went so long and winded on this, guys, but there's a lot to talk about. Fun trip. I would definitely. I would say I really recommend it, but I think January is where it all ends. So I'm kind of disappointed that I finally figured this place. Got to go to this place right when we shut it down. That's our style, right, Roman?
Yep.
Or your style.
That's my
go
style.
there one time and that's it forever.
That's why we can't. That's why we can't get no sponsors. We close places down.
And with that, Roman, I'm going to exit my screen share. Sorry, guys. The show's going to go probably till 8:30. Got a lot to talk about. Still got PB shout-outs coming up. So let me exit this, Roman.
Go for it. Go get yourself another drink, okay? And smack up that like button. Get ready because we're going to do PB shout-outs. And we're also going to do a presentation on Pickle Run.
Pickle Run's going to be quick here, though.
Quick pickle run. So real quick, thanks for hitting that like, guys, and let's jump into the Pickle Run 2023.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Play the music, right? No, we don't have music. Somebody's gonna working on stuff though. I know. I've talked to the producer of the show. He's working on stuff.
Pickle Run.
So Pickle Run 2023, October 7th, coming around the corner. If you guys haven't done it yet, do it. It's an experience. You know, if you're a kayaker or even if you're a boater, you can hang out with us. But it's an experience. We go from Mission Bay to San Diego Bay. It takes all day long, but it's an experience. It's not just the fishing, but just the trek of doing it, you know? So there's last year's group. I think we had 12 people, looking like it's shaping up to about the same size group, 12 to 15 people maybe. All right, so we're gonna get to. This is gonna describe on how it's gonna go. You may recognize this, but what exactly is a pickle run? First, we're gonna get to Dana Landing early, so load up your kayak. When I say early, we plan on being in the water at 6:30 for our group photo. So however long it takes you to get that kayak out of your truck and into the water, plan on being ready to start pumping your pedals at 6:30. So if it takes you an hour, get there at 5:30. Unload all your gear, say what's up to everybody. You know, how's it going, but make sure we get in the water. Here's last year us unloading our gear. We do it right there in the Dana Landing parking lot, right next to the boat launch ramp. Makes it easy to launch from there. I'm gonna go through this quickly, by the way, guys, just so we're late. You're gonna park your car and leave it at Dana Landing. So everybody that's coming, minus the shuttle drivers, you're just gonna leave your car at Dana Landing. Lock it up, leave it there. That's where it's gonna stay. Oh, how'd this get in here? But Roman, as still as you've ever been, he's been stiller.
Oh man, I missed my cue.
All right. How'd that get in there? Okay, then the shuttle drivers, which is going to be Roman, me, Salty, and I'm looking for one more. All 4 trucks are going to go over to Shelter Island. We're going to leave 3 of the trucks there.
I like the truck with the spoiler. Nice.
That you? That's this new Cybertruck coming out. So we're leaving 3 of the trucks at Shelter Island, and the 4th truck is going to bring me, Roman, and Salty back to Dana, and our trucks are going to remain at Shelter Island, and those are going to be our shuttle trucks that are going to bring us back to Dana later. So shuttle's heading back. We're all going to hop in. Whoever's vehicle is going to transport me, Salty, and Roman back. Our truck will be there remaining. And then everybody's going to launch, like I said, 6:30, ready to go. So everybody's going to launch their kayaks right out in front of Dana. And when we launch, let's not hover around in all the docks right here in the middle, because everybody's going to be launching their boats that time in the morning. So we're going to meet up right out in front of Dana Landing. There's like a white buoy out there, kind of in between Paradise Point and
wake
Dana.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you get in the water, everybody's going to group, and we're just going to get ready, huddle up, and wait for everybody to get there. Let's try to get in there, like I said. And then we're going to take our big group photo for the year. This is our group photo from last year. So you see that buoy? That's where we're going to meet up. You'll recognize it. It's right out in front of Dana.
Is Dario in the chat? Dario, if you're going to go, make sure you hit record on the drone.
Yeah. Dario brought us drone.
He was doing some great cinematography, some great shots. But no record.
Bring it, Dario. Get some sweet videos of that.
Roy said your drawings said Beavis and Butthead go kayak fishing.
If you guys don't know, well, you know that I'm heavily into like Disneyland. I am trained from the Disneyland Drawing Academy on how to draw. So yeah, thank you for the compliment there, Roy.
Very
Appreciate
stylized.
that.
Very stylized.
Thank you. And then once we take our group photo, guess what? We enter our epic journey where we will paddle outside of Mission Bay, right out of the jetty, and then we will head due south. And as we're going south, we'll spend the day fishing and making our way to Shelter Island. So we'll stop and fish for a while, chat. Those are all members of the MMFC. You guys can,
That's hilarious.
Whoever you want to see who's who. You guys decide on who those pictures are. It's CG, Roman. AI. It's just basically like an AI drawing, right?
Nice.
You wouldn't even know that that's anyway. So we're gonna fish. One thing I want to tell you guys: if you have a handheld VHF radio, bring that, because we'll be on a specific channel. Not sure what channel, probably 65. I don't know. So we'll be able to communicate that way. But we'll also have the sessions comm on the MMFC Discord going. So if you have a phone, bring your phone and a backup battery, because it probably won't last all day. And then bring your headset, and we'll be talking back and forth on that. So we're gonna all stay within eyesight of each other.
Oh, that's a good question. Captain Dan said no renderings of the little pies.
Yeah, hold on, Captain Dan.
Let's go.
But we're gonna have our Discord channel going, so we'll all be communicating. Hopefully, hearing the stoke of everybody catching fish, and I want everybody to stay within eyesight of each other. We don't have to be right on top of each other, but as we move down, we're each going to have a buddy. It's a buddy system. We're going to keep an eye on at least on one of our buddies, but we're going to move together as a group. We're not going to get miles ahead of everybody. We will have, like I said, the mothership, Eric and Captain Dan out there too, in case we need them. So here's Captain Dan. I don't know Captain Dan, but maybe you have the pies on there somewhere. Anyway, there's our mothership, My Asylum. Captain Dan will be out there, and he's providing us with snacks.
Yep.
Snacks, and so midway through, Captain Dan will pull up in that yacht he drives around in and provide us with some snacks, which is gonna be awesome. That's our mothership, guys. Hands it out via that big long net, if I remember right?
Oh yeah.
So hopefully we'll be out on the water. Hopefully we'll get the same weather we did last year, which was perfect. And
it's so nice. It's so nice to have that lunch off the boat halfway through. It's just like it's like a morale booster. Really nice.
That's right. And then once we get here to the point here, we're gonna turn in Shelter Island. Is that Dave Rage?
Yep.
Dave Rage pulling in. This is last year, by the way. And that might be Steven up there. Looks like he's got the outboard on that
that's
sucker.
right. Steven, yep.
That's the way it did. Yeah, we'll pull in there, and then hopefully we're not going to be fighting the current all the way in, because once you get to this point, you're thinking, I'm there. But you're not there. You got to go all the way down to Shelter Island.
Hour and a half.
So pull into Shelter Island. We'll pull our yaks out of the water. And what?
Nothing.
Okay. We'll pull our yaks out of the water and get them ready to load. And then the 3 trucks that we left there, we're going to load everybody up. Coach is going to be there, by the way, watching our stuff when we load it. We're going to load everybody up, and we're going to go get all our cards at Dana and bring them back to Shelter to load up all the gear.
Ooh, Roy said high tide is 5 p.m., so we could ride it in if we get there by like 3 or 4.
Last year, I think we rolled in about 6:30.
Oh shoot, we might be
7 maybe. I don't know. It's dark. So once we get back, we'll load up all our kayaks into our trucks.
Not this buff one-handed kayak loader.
And Coach, I've talked to Coach, and Coach is also on board. Thank you, Coach.
Which one's Coach? That's nice, dude.
Coach is going to go ahead, and he says he's going to make us some hot dogs and all his specialties that he's going to make. So Coach is going to be at the end of the pickle run there waiting for us. And thank you, Coach, in advance. And the red arrow I'm pointing at here, Roman, if you do forget to bring it, because you've been pedaling for 12 hours, remember to bring a chair. I mean, you could use your kayak chair, but it's nice to have a chair at the end. Yeah. Just want to remind you guys that. So we're going to hang out, eat dinner before we take off. The coach has prepared us. You don't have to stay if you got to get home quick. You can load up and bail. But if you want to hang out, have a few hot dogs or whatever Coach cooks up for us, and tell all your fish stories. I don't know who that is right there, but they just says they caught 50 fish.
That's nice.
Probably salty dangler.
That's a good haul right there. Captain said it looks like ancient cave drawings.
This is last year. This is last year's ending of it. So eating, having a good time, and then that is the pickle run. So if you guys are interested in doing that, October 7th is free of charge. Show up, be cool, just be ready. Next week we're gonna go over a little bit of the gear to bring. We ran out of time this week to do that, but we'll mention a couple things to bring on it. But definitely remember to bring your life jacket. Those are definitely mandatory on this trip. And I'm going to exit this room, and we're going to go right to PB shoutouts, all right?
Perfect. Let me get this set up. There is a sub-thread within the MMFC events section of our Discord server. Go in there, Pickle Run 2023, and you can see kind of like what to expect and post if you're coming, so we can figure out the car situation. And if you have a vehicle that can transport like you and 3 other people or more, and you want to be part of the driver's crew,
one more.
We just need one more vehicle. So if you guys want to help with that, it'd be fantastic, and then we'll be good to go.
You'll just be shuttling me, Roman, and Salty in the morning. That'll be your only job.
Jeff says he can drive. All right, perfect.
Can you be there in the morning, Jeff?
We'll follow up with Jeff.
Okay.
We'll follow up with Jeff and just make sure. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Very cool. Thanks, Jeff. All right. So here we go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We've seen you out on the water. They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shout-Out.
Okay, one of my favorite things to do, PB shout-outs. I like to show off these guys' catches. I like to show off the gear they bought, cackle, whatever. If you want to be on PB shout-outs, send a picture to me, Brian Likes to Fish, on Discord or Instagram, and I'll put on anything. That's Cal up front, double fisting like he does. Let's move on here. First up, we know who this guy is. That right there is your 2-time Spotty Bowl champion and 2-time species champion. Will he defend the species champion this year? Let's see. Become 3-time species champion? That'd be amazing. Awesome. My guess is yes. That guy is a slayer. You know who that is. That is Alex Norton right there, part of the Yakuzas out there, always slaying. He says, hey, Brian, hope you enjoyed your trip. I hope it was a lot of fun. Alex, it was a great time. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Learned a lot about Bitcoin.
You're welcome.
Some guys tell like a bedtime stories. Other guys tell bedtime Bitcoin stories. Let's just say that. And those stories were long. Anyway, I went right to sleep, so thank you for that. Got something for PB shoutouts recently. I issued myself a challenge. Good for you, to land a big calico or white sea bass from the surf. Yeah, that's a tough challenge right there. So far, it's been a grind. I went 6 skunks in a row.
Oh.
Landing my first dink calico. There it is right there. I mean, hey, you set a goal.
It's a start.
Did it. Congratulations. 6. I mean, hey, time on the water, Alex. You're learning something every time, I bet. Still have tons to learn, but every session is a huge learning experience using an 8'6" Akuma rod with a Shimano reel. Only lasted 4 trips before dying. Ugh, that's a bummer. Yeah, surf that's usually when you break out like the Sedona or some kind of cheap spinning setup, you know what I mean? Because sand and reels and saltwater, that's tough on him. He's upgraded to the 3K Stratic. Well, let us know how that reel does. So congratulations on setting a goal and getting it. And looks like he's got himself 2 calicos so far. Alex,
nice.
Keep us posted. Let us know if you get that white sea bass, and let us know if you break your, I guess that is your current PB. So let us know how that goes for you. But congratulations setting that goal.
That's cool.
Next up, you know who this is? This is Jack Attack. Look at that
cool.
fish right there. Looks like, is that La Jolla? Can't tell. Looks like La Jolla, doesn't it? I don't know. Jack Attack says, I sight fished for about an hour.
That's awesome.
Which sight fishing can be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just walking around, looking and casting. With sand crabs, without a bite. So I switched to 6-pound fluoro with a number 4 mosquito hook and got bit twice. This fish was a solid 18-inch, and it's his PB. And congratulations on that. Is that a Corbina or Corvina? What is that? Corbina? Corbina, right?
It's the one not with the teeth. I think that's a Corbina. With a B.
Corbina.
So a round of applause. That's awesome.
That's a nice fish from Phil right there. Switching up his gear, being able to get it, got on sand crab. That probably put up a nice fight too. So congratulations.
That's fun.
Jack, good fish right there. Next up, we got the guy up north. Not only is he a fisherman, but he's also a professional dancer on the weekend. I don't know if you knew that. Check out Jesse's Instagram. God, I wish I knew it, Jesse. Type it in chat. That he's a dancing fool. Him and the judge need to get together and go out. Jesse says, I caught my PB. I don't know what the name of this is. COHO. Choho? Choho? Am I saying that right? Choho? PB Choho. I'm going to say it like that. It's probably
Kohi?
Choho salmon a couple weeks ago, and they were both about 19 pounds. Wow. Holy mackerel, Jesse. So there's not spotties up there. So you got to, find another fish to fish for, unfortunately. But hey, salmon are pretty good. He's up there fishing for salmon. If you don't know who that is, that's Jesse. He's also works for G Loomis now, which we're all super jealous of. And while he was out there, I was testing the new G Loomis salmon rods with some field testers. So not only is he fishing, but he's testing. It sounds like prototype G Loomis rods. What kind of life are you living, Jesse?
That's awesome, dude. Very nice. Captain Dad said it's pronounced coho.
I got it right.
No, you said cho.
Oh.
Coho.
Coho.
I think that, and Jesse's hat, I think it's a G Loomis hat.
G Loomis makes a nice high-end rods, guys. Check those out. Jesse, I'm not exactly sure his title up there. We're gonna have Jesse on the show one of these nights so he can give us all the info up there.
But he's super nice.
He's up there testing G Loomis rods. He caught. Guess what he caught it trolling? Take a wild guess what he was trolling.
Ned rig.
No, come on.
Oh, come on.
Your new bait.
A popper?
No. The bait you just talked about. The hoochie. He caught it on the hoochie.
Let's
trolling
go. The hoochie power. Fishing with hoochies.
Flash rod.
I'm not talking about people.
Was out in Oregon when he caught these things. So there you go, Jesse. Shredding it up there. Hey, G Loomis is looking to sponsor, a big time YouTube channel. We're open to that.
We're open to it. Yeah. Let
Next
us know.
up, we got this guy.
Shut you down so fast.
That is Jared. What's up, Jared? Jared says he got his PB frogfish in
Oh,
Bishop last
that's
weekend.
cool.
Cool. Frog fishing's fun.
Yeah, that's a
Got it
cool.
on the SLX. Yeah, SLX
Oh.
rod with a Corrado 200. Got it on a black kicker frog. Fishing the mats. Cash caught a ton over the last 3 days. Looks like they had a nice little trip up there. Is that a frog jacket? Nice. Those are nice.
Sorry, Doc Stalker.
What happened?
Wait, I almost got Doc Stalker in trouble.
Oh.
Sorry. So in fishing, it's a lure that you drag behind the boat. It's called a hoochie. It looks like a little squid, right? But
It's
the
like
name is
the
funny.
nose of it looks.
The
I
name
would
is
describe
funny.
it as like a bullet with squid
Tentacles coming off the back. Yeah,
Is that how you describe
and a
that?
double hook.
Yeah.
It was super effective. Anyway,
Are
let's
you
keep it
Are
going.
you gonna troll that on the pickle run?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
buy
boy,
some.
here we go.
I'm gonna do a double
Incoming Roman video of the hoochie.
double hooch.
So is that gonna replace the Ned rig? Is Ned rig over?
No, Ned rig
Shelf
is
it?
irreplaceable.
Okay. All right.
Nothing
Okay, where was
compares.
I? Cash and I caught a ton of fish of the 3 days. We also had some trout in the creek. I think Cash is making custom flies and catching these. That's awesome. When you can make a bait and catch a fish on it, that is pretty cool. So there's a little trout. Looks like Cash caught on his
Oh, very
custom
nice.
baits. Oh, you're fly fishing too. Awesome. And these guys are all over the place. Congratulations to Cash and Jared. You guys are, man.
Let me do a round of applause
Time
for Cash
over.
and Jared real quick.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun. That looks like an old picture. Even though I know it's recent, but it looks like an old picture. You know, it's very nice.
Yeah, Cash one day in 20 years is going to be showing these pictures like, yeah, when I was young, I was doing this and that.
That's
And
true.
man, those are great memories right there. Also, one from Cash. He hasn't just gone to trout. He's back to the fish that we all love, which is spotted bay bass. Cash says he caught a 17-inch a couple weeks ago. Just catching 17-inch spotties, no big deal up in Alamitos. That's probably a standard size fish in that bay. Got home. He got it home with his Daiwa Lexa 300, put on a good fight. He figured it was a big sandy, but it was a spotty instead. Oh, thank goodness. I love it when that happens. 2-pound, 8-ouncer, 17 inches on the bump board. Nice fish there,
Oh, very
Cash.
nice.
Okay, next up, got this guy. You know who that is right there.
Let's go, Mark.
What is going on, Mark G?
Jeez, Mark. Take it easy.
Ow. What is going on at your feet right there? What happened?
That's a great
Jeez.
picture, dude.
Whew, that's a bloody deck if I've ever seen one right there. If you don't know who that is Mark G, part of our club from going way back. Mark says he went on a 4-pack yesterday with Sandwich Sports Fishing. I heard of them before. A buddy of mine from work, Captain Greg. He owns his boat and runs a charter a couple days a week. Throughout the week, Greg and I did his homework and was tracking where the fish were biting. All right. Always good to have that information. We left the dock around 5 a.m. We headed to the zone about 12 miles northwest in U.S. waters. At about 7 a.m., we found a patty zone. And then, in capital letters, it was mayhem. On fire for 3 hours.
Wow.
Woo. Holy mackerel, Mark. Finally. Mark's been going out on these boats, and I think him and Cal may have had like bad luck a couple times, but sounds like to me 3 hours of mayhem. Adrenaline kicked in when I hooked something big and the fight was on. I knew it was something big because my 80-pound rod was full bendo, taking the line. This fish, can I say this, was pissed off.
Oh.
That's about as bad as I'm
Ooh.
going to get. But
Wow. Well, Brian, okay, do what you want, I guess.
sorry.
Whatever.
It was off. I'm going to feel bad for saying that.
No, I'm just kidding. Just go.
Every time I thought I was gaining on it, the fish took another run. It was about 30 minutes before I could land it. And Captain Greg was an awesome coach during the fight. And the other 3 anglers were landing Dorados nonstop, including one more yellowfin. Let's go.
Dude, that's
It
awesome.
He caught it on his 7-foot Saber 30-pound to 80-pound rod. My new Pin Fathom 40 lever rag 2-speed reel, an 80-pound test with a 40-pound mono top shot, and a 40-pound floral leader. Wow, man.
All right, I'm gonna give him a round of
It was
applause
my
and a
first
gong
hook
for that.
set. Hold on, I'm not done. It was my
Oh,
first
come
hook set with the reel. The lower gear really helped land it. Yeah, those 2 speeds, man. That's when you catch that kind of fish. There you go. The tuna was estimated to be 40 pounds. After the bite, it took off. We hunted around, checked out birds, had the activity, but then headed to the deep water for rock fishing. Yeah, once you've had 3 hours of that. Dave Rage, thanks for recommending the reel, Mark says. And it was an awesome day. It made up for the last skunk trip he took down to Mexico. So good job, Mark. There you go.
There we go.
Slam.
Gong and a round of applause from the live studio audience for Mark.
Shout outs. You take a week off, you know.
Wait, Carl's in Japan? He said, bit from Japan, konnichiwa, bro.
Part of PB shoutouts is going to be Carl in Japan. So hang on. We're almost there, Carl.
Now we're international. Woo!
That's right. Okay, next up, we got this guy, Luke Jr.
Go,
What's
Luke.
up, Luke?
Nice,
Another bloody deck.
nice
Holy mackerel. Somebody better get a hose out there before that dries up. First pick was my first pelagic and first ever bluefin. Well, hey, congratulations, man. First bluefin, first pelagic fish. That's awesome. Fly line in a 30-pound setup. Torium 16 with a blue glass seeker rod. Second feature. Bam, right here. Look at that setup.
That's a great shot.
Nice. Second was my PB bluefin. Deckhand says he thought it was between 70 to 80 pounds. Caught it on an 80-pound setup. Pin Fathom 40. That's 2 of those caught on Pin Fathom 40.
Yeah.
What?
Speeds,
Phoenix Abyss rod and a pink knife jig.
Ooh.
Third picture. Bam. Third
nice.
bluefin was said to be another 70-80. The fish wrecked my knife jig on the way up. Best part of the Pin Fathom 40 is that it is right-handed and the fish and I fish left-handed, so it made it fun. Oh my gosh. How can you even do that? When I fish lefty, when I pick up a right-hand reel, it's like the very first time I've ever
He's all thumbs.
I cannot do it. It's not pretty. I recommend anybody going to this group with Captain Paul at Fisher and the Outer Limits crew. And he also, not only that, but guess where else he went? He was also in Hawaii a few weeks ago and lucky enough to catch a fish in the bay with my son, Jax. He caught 2. I don't know this fish, so I'm going to spell it. O-M-I-L-U. What is that, Captain Dan? O-M-I-L-U. Pronounce that for me, Roman. I don't want to butcher it.
O-M what?
O-M-I-L-U.
Oh, no. O-M-I-L-U.
Okay, we don't know. That's what he caught there. He said he got a few good one too and had a good time. So congratulations on that. Look at those fish.
Omelu?
That's the way to. So nice job, Luke.
That's like a jack.
Out there. Hey, man. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's like a jack.
That's smile. All right, next up, we're still going
So
here.
good.
Look at this picture. I've caught one of these before.
Wow.
They're like I was fishing with Aaron Kruger and I caught one of these. They're like cool looking fish. If you don't know whose thumb that is, that's Peter 86 right there, guys. Peter 86 has been trying to hone in his skills with a drop shot in the surf quite a bit lately. Have not been having really any luck. This guy was a targeted species and a new achievement unlocked. Cool. My first ever cabbie. He hit maybe 15 yards out and was probably about 14-inch range. Give or take an inch or two. He put up a pretty good fight getting back to the rocks, sent the little scrappy guy back home, and was completely sure. I wasn't completely sure if it was legal or part of a recent partial closure. So he sent that guy back home. But check out these cool photos.
Is that a what's it called?
Cabbie.
Yeah, those are not legal right now.
Not legal. So he sent that thing back. But the thing about those is that blue, like turquoise looking mouth when you pull those up. Yeah. Chuck those things back, guys. But he caught it on a fluke, it looks like to me.
That's super cool.
Drop shot in a fluke. That's super cool. Caught it on his 30-pound braid, 25-pound P-line, 6-inch gulp fluke on a drop shot. Thanks for that information, Peter. Keep catching those species.
Cabazon. Yeah, it's 15 minimum, coach. But right now, if it's on the, what is it called? That new regulation just came in a couple days ago. It's got to be outside of a certain coordinate line. It's not a link cod. That's what I thought initially first. The link cods you can keep, but not any other kind of rockfish if it's not caught outside.
Don't ask me that.
Boundary.
I'm just a bass fisher, man. I don't know any of it. I just throw everything back.
Yeah, they updated the rule like 2 days ago, coach.
From all the way around the world,
The
Carl
slope,
Black
right.
sent some pictures in. Have we clarified that
What's that?
with the cabazon?
I think the slope line rule does apply to cabazon. You cannot keep that, even from shore, because it's too shallow where you got it basically.
Peter 6, it says it's part of the partial closure thing with the rockfish.
Yep.
Okay.
It's lame.
Thanks for that information, guys. Yeah, lame. So halfway around the world, our very own Carl Black's out there for work in Japan.
Awesome.
And guess what he's doing while he's out there? He's working, but in his spare time, he's going to, what do you think that is right there, Roman?
Is that a tackle shop?
A tackle shop in Japan. So
you see little fish with legs running around.
Before we switch, look at that van. Isn't that kind of what you're looking for?
I'll take the one on the right. The one on the right, the little box looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. Here we go inside of
12-inch rims on that baby.
Shop right there. He says things are cheaper. I asked him that. I said, "Are things cheaper right there?" Carl Black says, "Hey Brian, I wanted to share some photos from my trip to Japan. I did some shopping, found some great prices. I'm in Japan currently and will be there during this week's show." He says he's gonna miss the show, but he's in chat right now. So he says Fishy Hour is on at 11 a.m. Thursday in Japan. So he's he's in the future at 11 He's right now. He's at 11 a.m. on Thursday.
That's awesome.
Is that weird to think about that? So bit from Japan. I wish I had time to fish for a while here. Sadly, I'm here for business and can only go shopping this trip. Might be with you. Same.
Very nice.
Well, that's kind of cool. Seeing what a tackle shop looks like in Japan. There we go.
So cool.
Oh,
cool.
Here's some more stuff. Got some power bait down there.
Where's the Tokyo rigs though?
I don't know. Probably on the
They're all Tokyo rigs. Ha!
And this is what he got there. I'm eyeballing that ball jig head right there. Grab me a pack of those. That looks pretty good to me.
Oh,
Glow
Coach.
ball jig heads. Looks like he got some swim baits, a jig par. And is that a jackal bait? Cool. So
look at those Mondo Ned rigs right there at the top left.
That's not a Ned rig.
Yeah, it is.
That's a ball jig head.
Just put a 7-inch Ned rig on that thing, and it's a Ned rig.
Here we go. Anything
catching everything. Catching everything.
Okay, next up, bam. So I just happened to be in the SBS tournament this weekend. Championship round. That's top cool. 15 anglers were invited to the championship round. So there's 5 regular fishings, and then the top 15 get to compete in a championship round. And while Keith, our very own Keith from Spotty Bowl, was walking up to get his food, I looked down at his leg, and this is what I see.
That's
Keith
cool.
has a tattoo of a spotty on the back of his calf, and he said he got it on there to commemorate a tournament that he did very good in Newport. I think that might be like the Balboa building in the background or something.
That's cool.
But Keith, to commemorate, that's how important spotties are to some people. To commemorate a tournament, he got a tattoo on his leg of it. So
that's awesome. This just in breaking news, Salty and Coach looked up the regulations. And so the rule says divers and shore-based anglers are exempt from the season and depth restriction affecting the RCG complex and other federally managed fishing grounds. Section whatever, blah, 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 blah. Shore-based anglers are fishermen and fish from beaches, banks, piers, jetties, breakwaters, docks, and other man-made structures connected to shore. So there you go.
There you go. Thank you, Salty Dangler. Always a wealth.
Very nice.
And Salty Dangler is my rules guy, by the way. So thank you for that. Hope that clarifies it for everybody on there. Salty, where did you find that link at? Maybe post that link if you can. But anyway, there's a spotty tattoo. So you getting a spotty tattoo in the future? Maybe with a Ned rig?
Ooh, I'm gonna get the angry spotty tattoo.
Oh yeah, grumpy? You mean?
Right here.
Oh. 1.5 pounder, huh?
Oh.
Okay, and then if you're wondering how me and Salty Dangler did in the championship round with all the other spotty bowlers, guess what? Day 1, me and Salty did okay, but day 2, we came in first place. Let's go, Salty Dangler. First place, day 2. So day 2, guess what? Spotty, San Diego Bay, spotty double weight. So me and Salty entered a double weight spotty competition. Guess what? Bam! We took home, I think, almost $1,500 from it. So joke.
They didn't know. They didn't know. They should have known, though. They should have
They
known.
found out.
They know now.
So we had a 17-pound bag. I think me and Salty, actually, if we would have been in Spotty Bowl, would have had a 77-inch bag. So thank you, Salty, for a great season. I got a few things to say about Salty. Salty Dangler, I consider you my Padawan. You know, going back to like I always do, Salty. Sometimes, Salty, I'm sorry. I tell him, hey, man, you're in my danger zone. And that means I'm fishing something where I'm going to swing the rod when I go for a hook sec. And I'm apologizing to Salty for hitting him so many times sometimes I'm like full airborne swinging my hook sets. So Salty, I apologize for hitting you all the time with that. But
passive aggressive retaliatory action. Salty, you tried to do that to me on this trip. But I had to draw the line. I said, hey, you know what it feels like to bring the darkness? You hit me with that rod and I'm going full send.
If you're fishing by me and I'm fishing at, let's say, the A rig, watch out, baby. Because when I get that hit, I'm making sure I got that, especially in a tournament. For Salty Dangler, though, for only being fishing for a few years, his metachlorian count is very high. He's doing very good. I think Salty Dangler, honestly, is only about 2 years away from being able to feel the fish through the bottom of his feet. You know, I'm
nice.
Giving him the motion. So nice. Salty Dangler, what a great year we had. And I look forward to fishing with him next year in the SBS. And I want to give a shout out to Jerry, who runs the SBS. This is as close as you can pretty much come to a professional level of boating saltwater bass tournament. All the sponsors in it, everybody that pitched in. I want to thank everybody for that. And I do enjoy fishing that. And I'm looking forward to that series next year.
Very nice.
And here's how we got him. I got him on the double rig hookup cool baits, dragging him on the bottom for the Calico's day one. And submission fishing code jig was catching them 2 at a time too. Guys, if you can get out there a little ways, the Calico bite is on right now. Check it out. And this fish right here was a 3-pound spotty, and that was caught in Newport during the year. And that was the biggest spotty caught in the tournament. And with that, Roman, I am exiting my screen share. There's all of our winnings right there. We got first place, second day, biggest spotty, and also second biggest bass on the second day. So I'm going to exit my screen share, Roman.
Very nice. That's cool. That's very cool. Guys, we apologize for the long show, but I hope it was worth your while and it was entertaining. Come back next week. We'll be back here Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Holy mackerel. I didn't realize it's 8:48.
Talking about fishing, you know, how we do. Come back with your questions. Come back with your insights. Share. Help everybody else get better at fishing, and it helps you get better at fishing too.
That's awesome. So hopefully this weekend I'll be up in LA with Captain Dan. I'm crossing my fingers. He's checking to see if he can get me in with like a special VIP pass. I'll be up at the Supercross in LA. Probably fishing on Sunday though, guys. So if you guys are out on the water Sunday, I might be out on my kayak, making sure it still works. I'll be out there snagging grass, catching bass on Mission Bay. I'll see you guys Sunday. Later.
Taking Brian out with a round of applause from the live studio audience. Brian, once again, thank you so much for being my friend and helping me get this show to be super awesome. I know it takes a lot of time to put those slides together, and I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate today's just an appreciative day, I guess. I feel like, and I haven't even had a beer yet. Shout out and thank you to Peter86, Zach Riggs, One Cool Tuna, Jeff, Ironfish, Mark G, Michael Tran, John Sedgwick. Got it. Nailed it. John Sedgwick. Captain Dan, of course. Leonard, Salty Dangler. Thanks for helping me with the modding and being on point when we refer to something. You guys just slap up the links. I really appreciate that, guys. I know you don't have to do it, but you choose to do it, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Congratulations again to Brian and Salty on that great showing. Great showing and great performance in those tournaments. Shout out to Halibut Man. Shout out to Todd Burton Art, !TB Art. We also have !OCT. Go check out One Cool Tuna. Get your stickers for your reels so you know what size line you put on there before you forget. Those come in really handy. Captain Dan had them on all of his rods, and it's great. It's good to have. I'm looking through those old chats. I can see like the old chats, and Todd put sausage fingers in it for some reason. It just caught my eye. Anyway, shout out to Sammy Prum. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Yoke. Shout out to Eric Cobra Klein. Shout out to Eric the Judge Lehman. And shout out to Rick Ray. Thanks for tuning in today, Rick. I hope you enjoyed the show. Big shout out to Coach Wharf TV in the house. Go follow !Wharf TV. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday. Until then, may the bite be with you. Woo! All right.